Oh, this is fun. All right, I wanted to start the video out here. It's cold as hell. I guess it's officially winter now. What I wanted to tell you is that I kind of screwed up. I screwed up. I'll take total responsibility for it. So I made a video in my apartment last night, and I used my Zoom H1N, and as a matter of fact, it's pretty funny because at some point I even say, I'm using the Zoom H1N for audio. But as you might be able to see, I don't know if you could see from this far away, because I'm shooting about 15 feet from the camera because I'm using my Helios 44-2, which is a 58mm lens, which means I got to be far away. My Zoom H1N is broken. I mean, it works, but the back thing that covers the batteries is broken off, so I have a rubber band around it. And yesterday, when I recorded, apparently one of these batteries slightly was not, situated properly, and no audio recorded. However, audio did record from the camera, and I was using my Boya mic on top, but I was pretty far away from the camera, so the audio is not ideal. It actually kind of sucks, but I've worked with it a little bit, tried to make it sound as good as possible. But I thought it might be valuable to show you what it would sound like if you don't attend to your audio, and if you don't really pay attention to making that be perhaps the most important part of your presentation, whether it's a feature film or a YouTube video or anything in between. Audio is so incredibly crucial, and I screwed it up. But you could definitely hear what I'm saying. I think I'm saying some interesting things. It was a video that I absolutely wanted to share and put out. So, something that really bothers me is when, people ask questions sometimes, right? And it's just so crystal clear that they never look at the description in your video, right? They don't look at anything unless maybe if you're somebody who's doing like reviews all the time, people want to buy stuff and then they go and look for your Amazon links or stuff like that. But, I think all of this stuff that we do, all this YouTube stuff and social media included on this too, actually, it'd be so much more meaningful and so much better using my Zoom H1N. It's also a good idea to always have a backup, you know what I mean? Usually what I do is I shoot with my Hollyland Lark Max on somewhere in my body as a backup to the Zoom H1N, and I have the Boya, so I'll have actually 3 sources of audio to make sure that I get something. But last night, I don't know, I was kind of in a hurry and I don't know, no excuses, I just screwed it up. But I'm going to incorporate this part of the video as well. I'll go back and forth. There's going to be quite a bit of B-roll in this video too, which is kind of cool. And so, hey, that's, forgive me, you know what I mean? Or sue me, whatever you want to do. It doesn't sound great, but at least this part will sound a lot better. It would be so much better if you really, genuinely took the time to get to know the people who resonate with you. And I don't mean get to know them like go eat lunch with them. Obviously, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about going to their websites. People work hard at putting their websites together, especially people who are not just doing YouTube. Like in my case, I'm a playwright, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a performing artist. I have a whole website, I have all this other stuff that I do. you know, I guess you could say my real job, you know. And so sometimes like I make these videos and I talk about my films, or I talk about storytelling or something like that. And I, you know, especially when you're talking about me, who sometimes goes on and on for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, these long videos. And I can tell that people do listen for a long time because, first of all, I see the statistics. And the average person watches for over 10 minutes on most of my videos. And, you know, the video is talking about, like, really paying a little bit more attention, and I guess perhaps I could use the word respect to the people who are doing the videos that you stop by and visit on YouTube. But I also realize that we're conditioned to not pay attention. We don't retain anything. Very little. Like you might catch a couple of things that kind of resonate with you and move you a little bit, and you'll remember that, you know, you'll keep that with you. But overall, you're not really paying attention because you're just scrolling all day. You know, you're scrolling down to the next post, to the next person, to the next stranger. Like you're just looking, you're starving for new information all the time. And so first of all, that's a problem because you're not really getting to know the person who's talking to you, who you think you like. You know, you have things in common with. You understand what they're saying, right, on a creative level, in my case, right? But at the same time, you're not going to watch their movie. You know, you ask a question like, you know, where can I get this information? Seriously? You know, most filmmakers, and you know, I can't speak for everybody, obviously, I can only speak for myself, but you know, most artists, whether they're musicians, filmmakers, actors, painters, whatever you do, and whatever you're sharing on YouTube, chances are you have other aspirations, other things that you might do professionally. You're probably, you know, you're probably more ambitious than just YouTube creatively, you know, because I'm not saying that, you know, you could be highly ambitious on YouTube. You can wind up being Marcus Brownlee and make millions of dollars and, you know, interview people like Kobe Bryant, you know, and, you know, YouTube has great possibilities. Like, if you ever looked at the description of my videos, the first thing you'll see is links to the center of distance, link to, this is the end for me, my Patreon link, my website link, everything. It's all there. And so I think it's a problem. Like, I know when I find somebody on YouTube who, you know, touches me in a way where I'm like, I get this person. First of all, I love the work that they're doing. Like, I look at the video and I'm like, this person's like a genius filmmaker, you know. But more importantly for me, when they're a great storyteller, when they're doing something interesting that's really like keeping me involved, you know, and making me want to come back, whether it be, you know, teaching me stuff or just talking about, you know, important, meaningful things to me, you know, stuff that's kind of universal to everybody, that obviously it reaches me as well. I immediately go to their description. I want to learn more about this person. I want to see if they have a website. I want to see if they maybe have an Instagram page, if they're a photographer. I want to see their work. But, you know, more for me, I want to go to their website. You know, I want to go to their personal space that if social media went away tomorrow, nobody could take that from them unless they shut down the internet. But I'm saying artistically, like in my case, I make feature films. I do plays. I'm a playwright. I'm a solo theater performing artist. And so when you come to my channel, what I'm really hoping for is that you read the description of my video and go to my website and learn who I am and check out the stuff that I really do. That is the reason that I wake up every day. The reason that I exist on this earth is to write stories, to write screenplays, to write plays, you know, to perform, to make full-length feature films. I mean, that's really what I do. I can't even get off this bridge. Like, I can't even get up to it. I can't even walk on that side, you know? And I got this whole thing, you know, I'm like, I gotta look at Lower Manhattan, and, you know, it's like, I'm trying to look downtown, and the only way to get on the bridge now is on the uptown side, and all you can see is like Jersey and Yonkers, and who wants to do that? And so think about that. How many people on YouTube who you really like, you know, let's say you're a big fan of Danny Gewirtz, you know, or Brandon Lee, or somebody like that, you know, some gigantic YouTuber, Marcus Brownlee. And what if suddenly YouTube went away? What if Instagram and Facebook went away? What if TikTok was gone? Do you even know where their websites are? Have you ever been there? What if their website is not simply their name, you know? What if somebody owns, you know, DannyGewirtz.com, you know, because people do that all the time. So what if it is perhaps DannyGewirtzFilmmaker.com or rockwilk, the multi-dimensional artist.com, like, you know, in my case, it's rockwilk.com. But I mean, would you just, you know, the thing is, we're conditioned to just keep moving. You'd probably just forget about that person. And that's a problem. You know, YouTube is fun for me. YouTube is hopefully going to be a pretty significant, you know, amount of side money that I can make as well. And hopefully it's a contribution. And I think this video right now is a good example that it's a pretty decent contribution, because I'm showing you how I screwed up and how you can fix that by maybe adding other elements to the video, you know, incorporating a different location, B-roll, stuff like that. And then since it's a YouTube video, you can even explain what happened. You know, it's not like a movie where I'd have to figure out a slick way to, you know, justify why I'm doing this, you know, where, you know, people are not going to sit in the audience and say, why does the audio suck in that location, but it's better in the other locations, you know, like, and some people will go, obviously did that on purpose. I'm of a time where people really connected with artists, and you became a fan of that artist, you know. Even in my world, where I'm an artist, you know, I'm a performer, I'm doing the work, but I was a huge fan of other people, you know, and I'm not just talking about celebrities and stars, I'm talking about other people who were performing on my level, you know. I became a fan of theirs, but I didn't have social media, I didn't have a lot of this stuff. So it's just kind of weird to me. Like, I think it just takes away from the depth and the real, you know, girth of who somebody is, you know, what they've developed, what they've worked so hard to create and become. You kind of take that for granted because you're just scrolling, you know what I mean? You're just coming to the page and you're checking out the video, and then you're on to the next one. And I think a lot of people in this generation, they would say, yeah, that's what it is, you know, like, get used to it, you know, like, whatever, what are you even talking about? So I think that it is good for me to, you know, for me on YouTube to be able to explain things in a way that is different than my feature filmmaking or my playwriting. And I'm talking about, you miss out on so much, you know, you don't really get to know what this person does and what they're really about. You lose so much because you're just there for a moment, then you go to the next thing and you've already forgotten about it, you know. You're not even thinking about it. It's so difficult to ingest something creatively these days and keep it, and consider it and think about it, and let it kind of marinate in your body for a while and let it change you and alter the way you think, you know what I mean? Like, give you some information that actually becomes a part of you. Like, I don't know, like do people hear songs that become a song that reminds them of something anymore? I don't think so, You see a movie that changed your life, like, does that still happen? I think it's so rare. So anyway, all I'm trying to say is, read people's descriptions, They probably have their website in there. People spend money on their websites. They spend an incredible amount of time and energy on their websites. They have stuff on there that they're really proud of, that they own that website. Like, nobody could take that away from them unless they shut down the internet, Because it's just like one after another, and people do a new thing. Like right now, for me, YouTube is the equivalent of that. Like, sometimes I post stuff every day, and it's like a running account of what I'm thinking about every day. And, honestly, sometimes I say to myself, like, who cares what I'm thinking about? Why am I doing this? Who am I to think that people are interested in what I have to say every day? But yet I do it because I feel like this is the venue for that. But what I really want is for you to go to my website. I want you to read the description of my video and look for my movies, and look to see if I'm doing a play somewhere, or, maybe get on my mailing list so that you see what I'm doing. Get on my Patreon, and you'll get so much more of what I'm doing and what I'm about. But, it's not like social media. It's not like YouTube where somebody else can just shut that down one day. Like, people have, websites. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about anybody. Like, when you find somebody who, whose work you love and you feel attached to, and it just makes you feel a certain kind of way, get on their mailing list. Go to their website, connect with them. Support them on Patreon, spend $3 a month or $2 a month or whatever it is, I mean, you could spend more if you're rich, but it doesn't cost a lot to support somebody like that, I mean, you buy LUTs, right? You buy all kinds of stuff that you never use, right? Especially if you're a filmmaker. You're just buying everything, right? You're supporting people. You're clicking on their affiliate links, but, support them. Read their description. Learn about them. Go to their website. Follow them. Watch their films. So go to their websites. Mark it as a place where you can always get back to it. And just in case, they lose YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you know where to find them, especially if you like them, I think anybody doing YouTube who's an artist making films, making, work that is not just a tutorial on how to use a lens or how sharp a lens is or how great a camera is with its dynamic range or its IBIS or whatever. Anybody who's doing real work, they want you to go to that real work. They want you to read their description. They want you to get to know them. They want you to go to their Patreon. I don't want you to go to my Patreon just because I want your $3 a month or your $15 a month or your $35 a month. Thank you so much. It's because I want you to know my work. I want you to get on my mailing list. I want you to come see me if I'm in a theater near you. I want you to watch my movies, and I want you to watch my movies like the way a movie is meant to be watched. I don't want you to scroll through and do a million other things and be cooking and cleaning and talking to your friends. And I want you to sit down for 2 hours just like you would watch a movie in a theater and receive my stories the way they're meant to be received, just like you're seeing a movie, because it is a movie. And also, I would say pay attention to the other things that people do, Like if somebody is a wedding photographer, like there's somebody that I know named Marzia Zaru. She's an incredibly gifted cinematographer, but she does weddings, I think with her partner, or I don't know if it's her husband or her brother or her boyfriend, I have no idea. But she does incredible work. It's so beautiful. It inspired me so much, and I never thought, weddings could look like Cinema Paradiso, look like a beautiful film. So, but I found out because I really investigated her. I did a deep dive. I found out where her work was, and I researched it, and I found stuff that inspired me to do better, to, you know, to go further with, at the time I was using the Sony a6400, and she had shot a video with the 55 to 210 lens, the APS-C lens, that everybody hates. They think it sucks. But the work that she was doing with it was so gorgeous, and I had that lens, I realized, damn, I could do great work with that lens, and I did, you know, and I used it quite a bit. I want you as part of my Patreon because I want to share my process with you. I want to go deeper with you. I don't want it to be just YouTube. And actually, my YouTube channel, I think, is deeper than most YouTubers because, or YouTubers in the filmmaking space. Like, I don't know, there's so many different kinds of YouTubers, you know, but, you know, I kind of do here what I'm doing at Patreon as well, except Patreon is like this on steroids, you know, like I'll share pieces of my script. I'll share, you know, meetings that I've had with theaters, you know, with places where I'm showing my film or screening it. Like I share my decision-making process, what I'm going through, what I'm thinking. Like, you can learn a lot from that. You know, somebody who's out in the world professionally doing art, you know, you could learn a lot from that. I'm just saying, pay attention to the people that you're following, show them some respect, and go, you know, get the inspiration that might help you, you know, because we're all trying to provide value here on YouTube. We're trying to do something that's worthwhile of your time and your, you know, taking a moment out of your life to come visit. You know, for me, it's like a great honor and privilege that you come here and that you spend time with me. And so I want to provide something that makes you feel like it was worth it, you know, like you get something from it, like you get inspired, like you get motivated, like you feel like, okay, I better get out there and do something because look at what this guy is doing. You know, he's just running all over the place shooting, and he's also finding the time to make a feature film. I don't know, you know, sometimes I think my life would have been better if I didn't know. You know, I wouldn't have been searching for that for the rest of my life. But at the end of the day, the difference between an artist and pretty much everybody else in society is that we want you to receive our work. We want you to watch our movies, to come to the museum and see our paintings or go to galleries. You know, we want you to see our sculptures. We want you to come see a dance piece at Lincoln Center or the Mark Taper Forum. We want you to come to our play. We want you to read our books. You know, like, we want you to receive our work because it is our lifeblood. We're giving so much to it. By the way, both of my feature films won a bunch of awards. Who knew? No budget, no help, nobody, just me. You could do that. That's what this YouTube channel is for, to show you that you could do that too. All I'm saying is when you watch these videos, not for everybody that you watch, because, you know, sure, there are a lot of YouTubers who this is what they do, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. If you can earn a living doing this and not doing anything else, that's awesome. But for people who you know damn well that they do other things. Yo. Why are you so fucking hard on your stepfather? He's not my father, Jamal. Whatever. He's married to your mother. Exactly. He's my mother's new husband. He's not my father. Whatever. You know what? I said stepfather. Why do you hate him so much? I don't hate him. It feels like you do. Why would you say that? Because you fucking treat him like shit. I don't even speak to him, Jamal. Exactly. You know, they're filmmakers, they're actors, they're musicians, they're playwrights or whatever. Investigate their work. If you really love what they do, if you really enjoy it, it'll be better for you. Like, scrolling is not doing you any good. It's breaking your brain. It's not good for you. It's a waste of time. Because 97%, 98%, 99% probably of what you're scrolling through, you're not even paying attention to because most of it just is gibberish. It's blah, 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 blah. But the stuff that you stop on and you feel, that's the stuff that's good nutrition, that makes you better, that makes the artist better, that makes us all better. Stop scrolling, you know, and read the descriptions and learn about the people and go to their social media, you know, and really try to get a sense of what is behind this person creating this storytelling out of the blue, like coming from God. How does that happen? who is this person? It's like you're doing a character study. Like, who is this person? Where are they from? What do they want? What do they need? You know, what are their problems that they have to overcome all the time? Like, it's so cool to learn about stuff like that, to understand what people have to go through to do what they do. Like, how did you write that play?
Thanks for the insight into every Latin and Jewish stereotype ever. Why always hold up? Hold up, yeah, hold up. Why I gotta hold up? Why even buy into those kinds of stereotypes, Saint? Why even think that's funny? I don't know. You don't know. Well, do you understand that you are actually perpetuating this institutionalized racism that's going to continue forever if you don't stop speaking and acting in exactly the way most white people actually expect you to act?
How the hell did you come up with that? How do you memorize 2.5 hours worth of work, you know? How did you make that painting, you know? I have a friend who is an incredibly gifted artist, and I always think to myself, how the hell does she pick up a brush and create the most beautiful work that makes me cry just looking at a painting? How do you do that? You know, people come up to me after seeing my play or watching my film or whatever, and we have these unbelievably deep, meaningful conversations because I can tell they're like, what just happened? You know, like I had somebody come out to her family at one of my plays, had a Q&A afterwards. I've had some of the most unbelievable conversations during Q&As after my performances, after screenings of my films or after my plays, those are the moments where I realize this is why I do this, you know. It's a life thing, you know. All right, hopefully, you know, you forgive me for the audio and the other part of this video. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Think about all the time you spend scrolling. If you really think about that, you ain't gonna feel good about that. Because what is it? That's like empty calories, you know what I mean? That's like eating candy all day. What's it for? It's just gonna make you sick and die. So, yeah, you know, I guess this video started with me saying, read the description of the videos that you watch that you love. Learn about that person, and then get off of YouTube, get off of social media, and go to their website and learn about them and understand what they do. And you might find out, like, wow, I can't believe it's like YouTube on steroids. You know, you're going to find all this information. You'll read bios. You'll see that they also do photography or music or whatever. Like, people are multidimensional. You know, they'll talk to you about their lives. You learn so much, and it's so valuable. And I think we're losing that in this scrolling kind of life that we're living. You know, we're losing so much connection to one another. And I think to get even at a higher level of this now, and a deeper level, I really believe that this is what's tearing us apart. Because it's really hard to hate somebody who you actually know. Like, if you really know somebody and, you know, they're not like a criminal or somebody who murdered your daughter or something like that, like, if you really know somebody, it's really hard to hate them just because they're of a different political party or a different color, or they pray to a different God than you, or they love differently than you, or whatever. If you know them, if they're your neighbor, for example, or if there's somebody who you've actually gone in to learn who they are because you saw a video of theirs, think about that, you know. But what we're doing is we're just scrolling around and we're just being actually fed all this information. You know, you're being manipulated every day. You know, you're being fed information by algorithms that's checking out where you stop, and then they're just flooding you with that. You know, like if you're flooding through, you know, Instagram or something like that, and you see somebody who looks good or something outrageous, and you stop there and it's some crazy, ridiculous bullshit. Trust and believe. You're going to start getting flooded with that. You ever notice, like, if you're looking for a new pair of running shoes or something like that, and you go to Roadrunner Sports and you're looking to buy, you know, like Adidas or Saucony or, you know, Asics or Hoka or whatever, all of a sudden you start getting ads for all that stuff. That's what happens. You're getting flooded. You're losing your own mind. You're losing your own heart, your own soul. So stop. Get off of it for a minute, go to people's websites, read their descriptions, learn about them, and, you know, make the artist feel like you are giving them some sense of value, like you value them, like you appreciate what they're doing. My wish, for whatever it's worth, and you know what, I'll make this my holiday wish. My holiday wish is that you will watch my films on Vimeo on demand, because those are the best quality. and those are commercial free. And so you will get to receive the movie in the way that it was meant to be received, all the way through from start to finish, just like you went out, ate dinner, and took in a movie. And I think that you will feel exactly what I want you to feel from those films, from those stories. I think you will receive it in the way that I pray that you will. So if you want to give me a gift for this holiday season, do that. I wouldn't mind if you joined my Patreon. That would be kind of cool. I just, I appreciate you so much being here, and thanks for putting up with the bad audio today, and hopefully this audio is better. And yeah, I'm probably going to buy myself a new Zoom H1N because, I don't want the batteries to be falling out of the back while I'm recording and screwing things up for you and for me. And but this thing sounds incredible. 24-bit, 96 kilohertz, pro audio, no joke. So, all right, that's all I'm going to say from this part of the video because I got stuff to do today, and the sun is about to come out of these clouds. So, all right, thank you, and I'll see you in a minute. Onward we go. Thanks to everybody, and I mean that. I appreciate you guys.